Yo, what's up, chaps and chappets? Welcome back to the best channel in the game, obviously. We're getting stuck into a formation, an individual formation. It's going to be kind of more tiered around the formation rather than the actual Tryhards Road to Glory today, especially seeing as I'm not actually completing 30 games a weekend. It's just too boring, basically. But we got Silver 1 from playing about 14 or 15 games. I don't know, something like that. We're presented with Ilicic, some random dude, and then Laporte. Chose Laporte because I just don't really think Ilicic is that good. Even though it technically make the most sense going into a Serie A team, but I don't know. It's pretty shocking. Nonetheless, Alexandro being brought in at left back, and he's looking pretty sexy, to say the least. 90 rated card. He's got the pace. I think it goes up to 99 sprint speed without shadow as well. 99 acceleration. We're just kind of living and laughing, man. We're kind of living and laughing. But nonetheless, 4-3-2-1. For me, my favorite formation to use in the whole game. And the reason being is it's just the most exciting formation. If you want to stop on any of these player instructions, then just pause the video, to be honest, because it's too quick to go through. But I mean, the basic gist of it is that the left forward, you have one person that's getting behind, so he makes it in behind runs. One of the other forward, right forward in this case, is going to be your false nine, so he drops off a bit, creating space for other players. And then Mertens is just going to be unbalanced. Middle centre mid is basically your equivalent of a CDM. So Sergio Busquets or Fabinho in a Liverpool team. Obviously, Liverpool basically being the biggest, I'd say the biggest advocate of the 4-3-2-1. You know, obviously it's kind of their main formation. Right back and left back on overlap. I'm pretty sure I just left balanced attack. One of the centre mids is going to be the box to box, almost like a Henderson. And then the other centre mid is going to be your more creative kind of going forward player. You might be thinking, why the hell is Bold ADL playing CDM? We're about to switch it up quite happily too. We're actually putting Perisic, like to have a bigger lad in that striker position just to have that available kind of target man presence as well. Press after possession loss. So it's basically Gegenpressing, which is pressing as soon as... it's pressing high up the pitch, basically, and trying to win back the ball high up the pitch, because that does create the best chances. I mean, if you're winning it in and around the penalty box, you're going to create a sick chance, as well as, you know, catching opponents off guard. And this is why I think it is my favourite formation in the game. It's just because you can play that ultra-aggressive play style, and it's not like you can't be lazy necessarily, because you do have to be well sort of regimented. You have to make sure that you are actually pressing in a decent manner. But nonetheless, getting into the next tactic, we've actually got the 4-1-4-1. So this is kind of when we're looking to cool off a bit. It's a little bit more defensive, perhaps a bit more sort of game management. We've got the middle CDM, who's going to be on stay back while attacking. Right back and left back on overlap. Striker, I think we ended up putting on getting behind. The two middle centre mids on nothing. Right mid, left mid, come back on defence. We've got press after possession loss once again. It's basically like the 6-second rule that Guardiola does, which is 6 seconds. As soon as they get the ball, 6 seconds after that, everyone basically presses the ball. And then if you don't get the ball after 6 seconds, then you kind of regroup in certain zones of the pitch. And you have to basically create overloads defensively against attack, and vice versa as well. In attack, you want to be creating overloads as well. And I think that's something that you need to look for in these games, is you need to try and create overloads. You need to try and create favourable scenarios for yourself with the numbers. You might be noticing as well, I'm not like joking around in this video at all. Like, this is something that I've kind of invested my time into learning through the Guardiola strats and all the rest of it. So I don't know. It's kind of vibey, I'm not going to lie. But anyway, going into the games, we're starting off with game number 1. We are switching to the 4-3-2-1, which is the attacking stat. So we're actually still playing that possession football. It's not like... You can either play super aggressive, kind of quicker football, or you can play a kind of balance, which is what I do, is just kind of more possession-based. And you just have to think that when you're progressing high up the pitch, when you do get to that position, which is high up the pitch, you're going to put yourself... Well, basically, the further you go up the pitch, the more it's kind of favourable for you. Not just in the case of, oh, you're closer to the goal, so you're going to score. It's also when they get the ball, it's going to be very difficult for them to kind of break out, especially if you have a lot of players in a zone. This is why I talk about favourable numbers and kind of overloads, is that if you've got 4 players or something in a certain area of the pitch and they win it back with 2, then you've got 4v2 pressing them instantly type thing. So the only problem is that in theory this works really well, but on FIFA it doesn't really work as well as it does in real life. I hear a lot of people saying that, like, you don't really think of Barcelona under Pep Guardiola as like a sick defensive team. But the real thing is that you don't really think of them as a sick defensive team because they never have to defend. They literally just press people, or they did press people. Obviously, this is back in, what, 2009, 2011, something like that. They just press as soon as the opponent gets the ball. So you never really have to see the centre-backs doing anything. You know, PK he's living and laughing, to be honest. You know, Shakira and all the rest of it. Like, he is actually doing the most. But nonetheless, Balde Diallo just looking to flex up down this right-hand side. Cuts inside. I don't know how that's not a penalty. Like, he's got pretty lucky there, to say the least. He gets it away, and this is what I mean by the Gegenpressing. We're just sort of in and around the box. He heads it away, kind of a panic header type thing. Straight to Savage, making it 2-0. Off a counter-attack here, we're looking to give it to Savage. Doing a little 1-2s. Balde Diallo giving it back to Savage. We're creating that space down the right-hand side. At this point, we have got the overloads. We've got like 4 people. In fact, 5 basically in that attack. We go for the cheeky bit of skill. We've put that near post. You hate to see it. He's just been absolutely flexed. Almost finishing him off there. Sending him to the shadow realm. Truly, to be honest. I was going to say you hate to see it, but I seem to be saying that quite a lot, man. I need to come up with some new little catchphrases, like you little Tez, that type of... Wait, what my old catchphrase is, like you biscuit merchant and stuff like that. That's kind of vibey. Shout out to the OGs, they remember that one, for real. Anyway, we concede instantly. 1-0, Van Basten just looking to slot it away, and he does. A little bit lucky, I'm not going to lie. So once again, here's another thing that I need to emphasise. Like, the 4-3-2-1 with the right forward, left forward, is that they're going to kind of tuck in, and then the left back and right back on the overlap basically creates 5 in attack, as well as the 2 centre mid. I mean, there's 7 in attack, basically. Which is just going to create insane overloads. Look at this for a ball. That literally reminds me... That goal reminds me of the Van Persie goal. That was actually banging. Like, remember it was like Spain against Netherlands, where Spain just got absolutely rinsed. I think it was either in the World Cup or the Euros. I actually can't remember which. I think it might be in the Euros. I think that was a year where England got beaten by Italy. That was a kind of... Yeah, that was a peak one, I'm not going to lie. Balotelli, little Ladatelli vibes. Alexandro going down this left-hand side, gets tackled. So once again, pressing just instantly. He couldn't get out. And I think a lot of people in foot champs, they just kind of choke, to be honest. Like, it's just the truth. They just choke. They just kind of get into that position. I think everyone does it. It's kind of a panic pass. You're in that position. You just kind of press A. You're spamming A. And then they just get into even more of a rage against this pressing style, because they're like, oh, it just keeps falling for him. But in actuality, it's just, you know, well-structured tactics. Because once again, look at this. This is the ultimate example of amazing pressing. We've intercepted it once, intercepted it again, and we've got a goal out of it there to potentially win the game, and he tries to get it away here. So once again, we're just sort of in his face, stopping them from attacking. And I think a lot of us are guilty, or I have been guilty in the past of just kind of, you see the counter-attack and you start to kind of back off a bit. Whereas here, we're just saying, you know what, lad? You're not even getting past the halfway line. It's that simple. Like, we're literally just going to go at you. Let's see how your shoulders are doing type thing. Manola's just getting stuck in. So 3 wins out of 3 in the bag. Easy dobs type thing. We're looking to come up against the sexy teams now, and that's exactly what we do. We've got R9 sitting up top. We got Ruud Gullit. It's just disgusting. I hate to be too rude, but look at this. Perisic just sort of dishing out the L's there with the chip. It's a clean connection, but that's a dirty goal. Like, that's just ridiculous, to be honest with you. But he responds straight away. That was almost a voice break there, but it was just sort of a lack of a voice, really. But Ruud Gullit smacking it away into the goal to make it 1-1. Bit of a stupid goal, bit of a pay-to-win goal, to be honest with you. So we whip it in there. Gets it away. Mate, this is what I'm saying. You just got to get the lads in the box. Just in and around the box. Create the chances. He's just giving it straight to Gomez. And he takes it. Like, he'll take it every single day of the week. And that's an easy dob. He's literally just like, I'm out of here, lads. Oh, FIFA's shocking. Which it rightfully is, to be fair. But nonetheless, that is going to be the end of the episode, chaps and chappets. The 4-3-2-1, the best pressing style on the game. But yeah, I'll see you, chaps and chappets, on the next episode very soon. Oof. We talking about BR from Tower and that. We're vlogging, not blogging, you're hearing me chat. Driving to Frontier, a tunnel is mad. Green tea still whipping, but this ain't an ad. Christmas vlogging, Christmas shopping, it's a whale of a time, but we never flopping like a balloon getting pinched. Yeah, you know we're popping. No snow, non-inch, now there's nothing dropping. The school's still out when Christmas comes about. Chuck, you better vlog it, that's a banging shout. I don't vlog much, but when I do as such, we're pushing down the clutch and we're switching the gear. We talking quality over the quantity. We are the best in the game, you all wanna be. Christmas the week, not the weekend, but I'm a star boy, you'll be studying me in astrology, trust.